Coming up, a local inventor is entering an unusual aircraft in a Boeing competition. We'll give you a sneak preview. Plus, a social media challenge earlier in the year highlights a larger issue. We'll tell you how you can prevent moral panics. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Aaron Vidito.
And I'm Aiden Casey. Thanks for tuning in. A social media prank called the Momo Challenge resurfaced this year, bringing a new wave of fear for parents. According to the story, a mysterious girl would appear to children as they watched videos.
But as it turns out, the Momo Challenge was more the creation of media coverage than anything else. I did a little research on moral panic and how to recognize it. Earlier in the year, the face of a disfigured girl was haunting the internet, scaring kids and their parents. The girl's name is Momo, and the rumor is that she appears in children's videos to tell viewers to perform harmful and sometimes deadly acts. But it seems that she's been appearing in TV news stories much more often than in children's social media feeds. With intense coverage from the media and no reported incidents involving self-harm, Zachary Fountain with Flagstaff Schools says Momo is about as real as Bigfoot.
We had reported to us was basically that we had students that had concerns based off of things that they were seeing, whether it was in news reports or in news reports that were shared on social media in and of itself. And really, that's what this whole incident is about. This is about a digital urban legend that keeps getting shared and moved around.
The phenomenon of simplifying an issue and trying to prompt a response is called moral panic.
A moral panic can be a person, it can be an event, it can be a group of people, but it has a couple of really important steps to it. The first one is that it's usually a group or some kind of problem that's identified as being a threat. Often we try to simplify or relate this problem to another issue, and we raise it to public concern. And that often tries to prompt responses from, in most cases, it's usually the criminal justice system.
And this isn't the first time the media has made a mountain out of a molehill.
1980s, 1990s, there were video games, board games like Dungeons and Dragons. There was also this relation to certain types and practices of video games, Dungeons and Dragons, metal music being related to also satanic practices. So we've seen moral panics exist throughout the decades.
It can sometimes be hard to tell the difference between relevant stories and moral panic. The best way to combat this, Fountain says, is by learning a concept called digital citizenship, something he says local schools are teaching its students.
I think the keys to digital citizenship are making sure that people can look at what is being shared in front of them and being able to distinguish between fact and fiction.
But Garcia says most of the burden lies at the media.
What the media can do in order to prevent, I would say, needless moral panics is they can start weighing a couple of really important categories. For instance, we can go ahead and draw upon the Momo Challenge. You know, is the Momo Challenge going to affect as many people as, say, those that are not going to have health care?
And while the media can weigh the impact and do their research, the key for consumers is being able to have the conversation of what is and isn't real, especially when it comes to children.
First and foremost, it's all about trust. It's having that open door, that open conversation about what they're seeing.
Aaron Vidito, NAZ Today. And of course, here at NAZ Today, we always try to provide you with accurate and relevant news, but we aren't perfect. So if you have any concerns, let us know by messaging us on Facebook or emailing us at newsroom@naztoday.com.
The body of a 4-year-old missing Navajo girl was found in a creek on the Utah portion of the Navajo Nation. According to a statement from the tribal police, the body was tentatively identified by parents as Andine Jones, after being found Wednesday evening by volunteer searchers. She'd been missing since mid-March. No cause of death has been released at this time. The FBI is investigating the case. Arizona Senator Martha McSally delivered a keynote address to the National Discussion on Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment in Annapolis, Maryland earlier today. McSally spoke about the problem in colleges, universities, and service academies nationwide. Earlier this year, McSally revealed that she was sexually assaulted by a superior officer during her time in the military.
Motorists who qualify for a permanent disability placard don't have to worry about expiration dates anymore. A new state law eliminates the previous 5-year renewal requirement for the blue permanent placards issued to disabled motorists. The red placards that are valid for 6 months remain unchanged. If you already have a placard with an expiration date, you can replace it with a permanent one anytime by going to servicearizona.com and clicking on the permanent placard replacement link, and it's free. The Arizona Game and Fish Department is looking for a poacher that illegally killed a mule deer. The deer carcass was found March 21st near Baghdad, Arizona. Wildlife manager Justin Espino says it's a clear case of poaching because the head and hide of the animal were taken. He says the deer was probably shot between March 14th and March 18th. A $1,500 reward is being offered in the case.
Imagine a future with flying cars and personal aircraft. Well, this is the vision of one local man who has been fascinated with flight his entire life.
He's been working on building a personal flying machine that acts kind of like an airborne motorcycle. Chelsea Parker is live in the studio to tell us more about this exciting innovation. Chelsea?
Yeah, that's right, guys. For the last year and a half, Flagstaff engineer Jim Corning has been working on an invention that could change the future of flight. It's called the Fan Flyer, a personal aircraft that could take someone over thousands of feet into the air and travel a distance of 100 miles.
Yeah, this is basically a personal quadcopter that'll fit roughly in an 8.5-foot sphere. We're designing for this to stay aloft for an hour, hour and a half, and to cruise at 60 to 80 miles an hour. The service ceiling eventually will be about 10,000 feet, which is what we need to be able to fly around Flagstaff.
Since he was a little kid, Corning knew that he had an interest with aviation. He said that watching others attempt to make things fly inspired him to do the same.
I've wanted to fly since I was a little kid, and it hasn't really changed. It's been really fun watching YouTube videos of guys putting drone motors on lawn chairs and making hoverboards and stuff, and you look at that and you think, so what would this look like if there was an engineer involved? And I guess this is my answer to that.
The Mountain Mojo Group, a local marketing agency in Flagstaff, is working with Corning to get this project rolling, and they say it has its benefits for Flagstaff.
Just see a lot of benefits in it for, search and rescue type stuff. I do some guiding, so being able to do an evac via fan flyer instead of via helicopter would be really cool and a lot easier.
With a personal pilot's license, Corning took part in the Go Fly competition, sponsored by aircraft maker Boeing, which challenges innovators across the world to get creative.
There's $1 million grand prize in that Boeing competition, yeah. And what you have to be able to do is show that you can fly 30 miles an hour and stay aloft for 20 minutes and have a 10-minute reserve. There's a noise criteria that you can't exceed 87 dB, and it has to be as small as possible. You score points on noise and speed and size.
By this summer, the Fan Flyer team is hoping to be ready to sell kits with everything needed for others to make their own Fan Flyer.
We would love to sell these to the military as well. We're kind of working on a concept for a 2-seat version that would carry a useful load, and there are going to be so many uses that we can't even begin to predict. I mean, police, search and rescue, forest firefighting.
It's definitely the future of flight. It's going to be fun to see it all come together and see what this could be like 5, 10, 15 years from now. So.
Now funding is still needed for this team to move forward in their project. The website fanflyer.aero has more information for those who may want to help. Chelsea Parker, NAZ Today.
As we mentioned earlier this week, NAZ Today will not be broadcasting live next Monday. Instead, we'll be playing our award-winning broadcast from November 28, 2018.
For the second consecutive year, NAZ Today has been awarded first place for student newscasts that are produced 4 days a week or more by the Broadcast Education Association. We want to take a moment to share with you, our viewers, what this award means to us and why we feel so honored to represent Northern Arizona in this national recognition.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Working for NAZ Today is such a unique experience because it's so hands-on. In classes, you learn these things, but it's not like you have a shift every week where you're here, 4 to 10 hours a day working, but here you get that experience. And if it wasn't for a student-run TV station, us students wouldn't get this.
Experience isn't a requirement for those who want to join.
The glory of NAZ Today is that it does teach students from the beginning how to do their job and what their job is. And so you come in the first week, if you know nothing about live TV production, we find a job for you, a nice starting position.
Students work hard and take pride in providing live, daily news coverage for the community.
We're very proud of this group. This is a small group of students. Yet we've managed to compete against some of the largest universities in the country. And it just shows the level of dedication and how our students really care about doing a good job providing local news to Flagstaff.
Although students are graded for their participation, for many of them, motivation comes from the pursuit of honest journalism.
At the end of the day, we don't do this because we want to get awards. We do this because we want to serve a purpose. I see journalism as public service. We are informing the community of what's going on. We're holding people accountable. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. And this award just shows that we're doing a good job of that.
Student producers and faculty advisors will travel to Las Vegas this weekend to accept the award during the National BEA Conference ceremony on Monday.
Coming up, we'll have a look at this week's Pet of the Week. Stay with us.
Really gloomy outside, some high cloud coverage, maybe some possible rain during the weekend. Stay with us, we'll talk about it.
Terry Markson Cadillac realizes that bad things sometimes happen to good people. Many with good credit have experienced an unexpected blemish, but it's probably not as bad as you think. We offer guaranteed credit approval. So come in for a confidential credit report and let our finance specialists help you understand your options.
Hi, I'm Mark Harris, owner of Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. I guarantee to beat anybody's price or you'll receive $500. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. No pressure, no hype.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. Every week we feature a local animal up for adoption as our Pet of the Week. This week we return to High Country Humane to highlight Darla, a dog who is looking for a forever home. NAZ Today's David Smith has more.
Say hello to Darla. Darla is a 7-year-old shepherd mix who has been described as a sweetheart by High Country Humane staff.
She's a real cuddle bug, but she's good on a leash. And she, I think, would be a good dog, probably as an only dog. But you can see she would rather just cuddle here than be too awfully exploring.
Darla was a stray that was brought to the shelter a few weeks ago and ever since has been looking for a new family. She is quiet and timid at first, but she gets along well with kids and adults. Darla isn't too old to be learning new tricks, as she has learned her name, basic commands, and how to sit. She can live in either a house or an apartment, be with a young individual or an older couple, as long as there is someone to love her.
She does enjoy the outside. We take her outside often. We haven't got to the point of fetching a ball or anything yet, but she's just a real sweet dog that I think would go great on walks or hang out and watch movies with you.
Darla has just the right amount of energy for spending time with others.
I think she is just the sweetest. She would make a wonderful addition to any family. She is very mellow and not demanding in that way, that if somebody's just looking for a pal, this is the dog for you.
David Smith, NAZ Today.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you, because what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe.
This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi. Marie, you have pre-diabetes.
Pre-diabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get pre-diabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for pre-diabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
Well, welcome back. I'm your student forecaster, Cristiana Ramos. Now, I know the anticipation is killing you. What's up with all these clouds? Well, let's talk about it. Here, high cloud coverage coming in, making its way to Arizona through northern Arizona, bringing in some precipitation. We'll talk about it in just a little. Now, let's take a look at that daily almanac. Your high for today was 55 degrees. Low 27 degrees. And now I want you to pay attention to the record high in 1961, a whopping 74 degrees. Whoa, climate change. And then in 1977, the low was a really cold 5 degrees. Now let's take a look at your Pacific satellite again. Like we talked about, that high cloud coverage coming in to Arizona, this blue area here, that's that slight precipitation that we were talking about. Now, it's nothing too major, not a huge storm, don't worry, not necessary to get out your snow boots and your snow shovels, but again, just be cautious, some slight showers in that 20% range for precipitation. And then let's take a look at your low for tonight, 30 degrees, decreasing winds from throughout the week. It was really windy, and then increasing clouds. No storm tonight. Your sunset is going to be at 6:50, and then tomorrow your forecast high is at 55 degrees. That sun is peeking through those clouds, partly sunny, slight chance of showers, but again, nothing to worry about until Saturday. That's when those showers should start rolling in most likely. And then for those early birds, your sunrise starts at 6:08. Now let's take a look across Arizona at those high temperatures. Flagstaff, you have 53, in Payson, 54. Winslow, great events happening Friday throughout the weekend with 68. And then down in the valley in Phoenix, 79 degrees. That typical beautiful spring weather we all love. Kick off your shoes, go get a tan by the pool, go on a nice bike ride. But be careful, I went on a bike ride a few days ago and broke my finger. So take advantage of the great weather, but with caution. Now let's take a look at your 5-day extended forecast. Friday, 55 degrees. That's when those increasing clouds, they start rolling in through Saturday. Slight chance of showers, 54 degrees, your low 31. And then Sunday, still cloudy, but a warm front coming in, high pressure, 66 degrees. And then through next week, 70 degrees on Monday, Tuesday, 67. And then those winds might start picking back up, but great complements the warmer weather.
So it looks like Monday is going to be our warmest day of the year so far, huh?
Yeah, and I actually like warmer weather. Like I said, I like to get my tan on, so Flagstaff's a great place to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
I wish I could tan. Anyway, what do we have going on in sports?
So this week we actually have NBA basketball and then NAU tennis right after the break.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Nadia Armenta. The Phoenix Suns played last night against Utah Jazz and lost 118-97. In the beginning of the first half, the Suns were up 21-12, and then franchise player Devin Booker landed on the foot of Royce O'Neal and exited the game with a left ankle sprain. While he will most likely be shut out for the final 3 games, the Phoenix Suns have a lot of evaluating to do. It is going to be hard to replace a star like Devin Booker. Moving on to college sports, the NAU men's tennis team is on their way to breaking a new record. Yesterday, NAU played the University of Delaware and won the game 6-1. NAU has won 10 consecutive games, and the last time they accomplished that was in 1982. Head coach Maciek Bogusz mentioned the importance of developing leaders on the court to accomplish larger goals.
So first, we really put a lot of emphasis on working on people, on the players we have on the team, and then once they got on the board, then we really pushed the tennis part, and we can see the results now.
This week's NAU Spotlight is on #1 singles tennis player Tim Handel. We caught up with head coach Maciek Bogusz, and he talked to us about how Handel has become an important player for NAU tennis.
We have a lot of seniors on the team who've been becoming great leaders and showing the ropes to the freshmen and our underclassmen. And our team has made a big progress since the beginning of the season.
One of the seniors is Tim Handel, who has improved his game by implementing more structure when on the court.
Obviously, everyone is trying to win, but more focus on the plan during the match and just executing the plan instead of just focusing on winning the match, and I think that's helped me a lot.
With focus comes results, and as a leader, Handel can help his teammates grow.
For me, especially if I practice how I play in a match, and then I'm used to situations that happen in matches, and it's nothing new for me if I do it every day. So I think that's helped me a lot.
As a senior and a leader on the court, Handel sets those standards and examples for everyone else.
You know, first of all, he's a great example. He leads by example. You know, he always brings it every single practice, and you know, for him being a senior and still improve as much as he did his last year, you know, of course the results show.
Handel will be leaving a huge impact on the team once the season is over, but Coach Bogusz admires his hard work and excellent skills.
He's always pushing you know, his teammates to get better and to be more reliable, and you know, we'll for sure miss him a lot once he's gone. And you know, every coach dreams about having a player on the team like Tim is.
But as far as after Handel graduates, there are still some questions about where he will end up.
After this year, I definitely want to play tennis for a while and see how it goes, but it's pretty expensive to like just play tennis and travel around, so I'm gonna have to see how well it goes, and like, yeah, and then I'm gonna decide what I want to do after.
And NAU men's tennis team, like I said, is on a roll. They're looking for their 11th win, and they will be having games all weekend, so I look forward to seeing that update on their record.
It's a lot of wins, and I'd say tennis is definitely one of the most interesting sports. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely harder than a lot of people think it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll recap the forecast after we get back from the break.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
If you're looking for an incredible experience, meet a shelter pet and adopt. They make super pets who will enrich your life and steal your heart. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
And springtime, spring. Sunday, 66 degrees, and that Saturday, of course, like I said, precipitation at a low.
That is awesome. I'd really like the warm weather. But warm weather might not be ideal for today. It is National Hug a News Person Day, so if you find your local news person, go and give them a hug. Thank them for their service. You can go ahead and check out our show on social media, our live stream after this, and our award-winning show on Monday. Thank you. Be kind to one another. Good night.
Have a good night, Northern Arizona.